Hi, I'm Rich Story. Welcome to another Level Up Cartooning. All you ever need to follow along with me is a pencil and paper. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? So if you were with me last week, then you know we kicked off 2024 by drawing the children's book and movie versions of the awesome and odoriferous ogre, Shrek. I thought we'd continue that theme today by drawing original children's book versions and Disney versions of one of my favorite characters of all time, Winnie the Pooh. First off, may I say, if you haven't read A.A. Milne's original Tales of Pooh, Piglet, and the rest of the characters living in the 100-Acre Wood, accompanied by the incredible pen and ink illustration by E.H. Shepard, then you're missing something. Absolutely awesome. And while Walt and Company definitely Disneyized the 100-Acre Wood cast, I think they did an admirable job retaining the overall warmth and charm of the characters, and in some cases maybe even improved on it. You'll notice that as we draw the two versions of Pooh, that while the overall construction of the characters doesn't change that much, the line used to define the characters does. In the Disney animation version of Pooh, the line is tight, clean, and fully connected, just as you would expect with a Disney animated cartoon. But E.H. Shepard's beautiful illustrations of the original Pooh are much looser and sketchier. They are rendered in pen and ink using a classic dip pen, similar to what I used in my syndication days to draw comic strips. And most of Shepard's drawings were printed in black and white with lots of cross-hatching to indicate color and texture. Today I'm going to finish my version of Shepard's Winnie the Pooh using this fountain pen. It's a sailor. I've got a few of them and have been experimenting with them lately, and may I say they're a lot of fun and really awesome to collect. One of these days I'll do a video on nothing but pen and ink. Anyway, before we get started, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button as it helps this channel to grow, and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. Alright, so what do you say we get started drawing our two versions of Winnie the Pooh? We're going to draw our two versions of Pooh Bear step by step, giving you the secret formula to be able to draw him again and again. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I normally use the character's head to figure out how big the entire character is. In the original book version, Pooh is a little under 3 heads tall. In other words, however tall his lumpy noggin is, his entire body is a little under 3 of those. In the Disney version, Pooh is slightly over 3 heads tall. In other words, however tall his bumpy melon is, his entire body is just over 3 of those. Okay, so what do you say we draw a roadmap for our two versions of Winnie the Pooh? So there's our roadmap for our two versions of Pooh Bear. Now before we go on to step 2, I want to give you the layout of our two bears' simple shapes for those of you who want a screen grab. Again, just something to help you envision how to lay out your drawing. Okay, now we're on to step 2. In this step, we do what I call roughing out the features. I want to remind you that until the third and final step, you want to draw as light as possible. You'll see that I use guidelines to help you to know how to construct our two versions of Winnie the Pooh. We don't want those guidelines in the final drawing, so you want to draw them light enough to be able to erase them easily. Okay, so let's rough out the features for our two versions of Winnie the Pooh. Okay, so there are the roughed out features for our 2 versions of Winnie the Pooh. So now with the roadmap done and the features roughed out, it's time for the final step. In step 3, we get to have fun. We get to draw in the final details of our 2 versions of Pooh Bear. We don't have to guess where to put things because we've already done all the hard work figuring that out. As I often say, I want you to be present. And what I mean by that is you don't want to just mindlessly retrace over the lines you've already drawn. As you're drawing the final lines of both versions of Pooh, you want to be thinking about how you might improve it, staying vigilant until the very end. Okay, so let's draw in the details for our book and Disney version of Winnie the Pooh. And that's how you do it. There you have it, from the classic children's book by A.A. Milne with E.H. Shepard's awesome character drawings, and from Disney, the book and animated versions of Winnie the Pooh. So how do you think you did? Understand, if you've never drawn any version of Pooh Bear before, you cannot expect to have drawn him perfectly. You notice I don't spend time coloring Pooh during this video because I want my lessons to focus solely on the drawing process. Now you have the secret formula, the process for drawing the book and Disney version of Winnie the Pooh. And with that, you can draw him again and again, and by all means color him when you're done. I promise each time you draw it, it'll be a little better and a little easier. I also promise the more you work with me, the better you're going to get at all of your cartoon characters. So I'd love to see your 2 versions of Winnie the Pooh. If you can, take a picture and post it on either Facebook or Instagram, and don't forget to include the hashtag #LevelUpCartooning. I had a ball drawing this one. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Remember to subscribe, and thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep drawing, my friends.